Barnes & Noble, the biggest bookseller in America. I'm sure at some point over the last few months you have floated into your local Barnes and have seen their book of the year proudly on display. This has been an annual award for who knows how long. Seriously, if you do, let me know. I tried to find the answer but couldn't. But supposedly, according to Barnes, these are some of the best books of all time, our must-reads, our I need to purchase and read immediately. Fair enough, who am I to say otherwise? But I will say, in 2021, the book of the year was Paul McCartney's The Lyrics book. And no offense to Paul McCartney, I'm sure he's a great artist and all, but how did that book become book of the year? Because I had not heard a single thing about it until Barnes & Noble was trying to get me to buy it. Today, we'll be conducting a little experiment by reading Barnes' 2022 book of the year and then the book of the year from 10 years prior, and comparing the two novels, seeing what all the hype's about, and possibly even seeing what has changed over the decade. Again, this is all a very scientific study, so I don't want to hear it. No, but in all seriousness, I think it might be interesting to see why these books were chosen as my fave's fave. I'm gonna keep this all spoiler free, by the way, so if you haven't read these novels, no worries there. Alright, let's get into it. We'll be starting off with Barnes & Noble's 2022 book of the year, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This just might be a my book thing, but this book feels like it's made out of lead. It's confusingly heavy. From the synopsis, this looks like a historical fiction that follows Elizabeth Zott, a female chemist during the 1960s, as she finds herself not only a single mother, but also the star of America's most beloved cooking show due to her unusual approach in the kitchen that combines both cooking and chemistry. Yum. It's been about 4 years since I last took a chemistry course, and let's just say all I can remember is 1 Sarah plus 1 beaker, a smattering of different chemicals, and a Bunsen burner equals explosion. Alright, Miss Garmus, let's teach me some chemistry. I'm obviously kidding, by the way. God, I hope this is not just chemistry. Imagine an author going like, what is possibly the longest first sentence in a book I can write? Never mind, don't imagine it. Let me read it to you. Back in 1961, when women wore shirt-waist dresses and joined garden clubs and drove legions of children around in seatbeltless cars without giving it a second thought. Before anyone knew there would even be a 60s movement, much less one that's participants within the next 60 years chronicling. Back when the big wars were over, the secret wars such as the gun and people were starting to think fresh and believe everything was possible, the 30-year-old mother battled and rose before dawn every morning felt certain of just one thing. Her life was over. I mean, I'm intrigued. So I've hit the 75-page mark of Lessons in Chemistry, and I've really been enjoying it. I thought I would like this book because I've heard so many great things, not only from Barnes & Noble, but also from other booktubers and you guys as well. But for some reason, I didn't think I would be enjoying it as much as I am. You know how some books take a little bit to get into? Well, this isn't one of those books. The story actually starts off with following Elizabeth's child, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was not expecting that. It took me a minute to realize who I was reading about. But then we kind of jumped back in time and are now following Elizabeth through her work as a chemist. There's also a subplot of romance in here, but it seems like both characters have had a complicated life and both have secrets that we have yet uncovered. But from what we know so far, it's clear how the characters became who they are today. I'm loving our strong, intelligent female protagonist. She's the type of woman who would shoot a basketball by calculating the exact degree she would need to shoot it at. Would Elizabeth shoot a basketball? Probably not unless someone said she couldn't. I was just using that as an example. She's very like math and science oriented in the brain. We also literally just a few pages ago met a new character and I hate him already. I love the drama I feel like he will bring to the story, but he is just undoubtedly a terrible human being. I'm not sure how much more reading I will do today. I have some editing I need to do, not for YouTube, for school, so I'm going to work on that, but I'm really excited to get back to this and I'll update you guys the next time I have an update. Hi vlog, I'm coming at you guys with a car update. I'm actually currently on campus. Today I have my UX design class, my visual design class, my audio visual storytelling class, and my film class, which 80% of the time is spent watching a movie, just DVC things. I am now a little over 200 pages in. I feel like some of you guys are going to like what I'm about to say, and the other half are going to take this as an insult and are going to disagree with me. The first 100 pages of this reminded me a lot of The Love Hypothesis, but like the literary version of The Love Hypothesis. I think probably because both books have romance in like a science laboratory setting, but whereas The Love Hypothesis is very much so a rom-com, and yeah, it has its cringy moments. This book dives a lot more into the characters and the messages it explores. But after about the 100-page mark, I'm not really picking up on those vibes anymore. But if you liked The Love Hypothesis, you might want to consider picking this one up, since at least the first 100 pages reminded me of it. So far, the commentary on 1960s gender roles, outside versus inside the home, and sexism is all very digestible. I'm almost wondering if it's too on the nose. But I might just feel that way since I read a lot of books such as thrillers whose commentary is usually more, is subtle the right word? Like, not in your face. Like, you have to dig a little bit to really get to the messages. But on the other hand, it is kind of refreshing. I thought I was going to have to, like, you know, think a lot more while reading this. And there are also more smaller themes explored, such as religion, that are a little bit more subtle. So actually, I think it's all a nice balance. We also have been introduced to a new POV. Get this. The dog's POV. Yeah, that's right. I didn't know I needed a dog's POV, but I'm going to need more animal POVs in books. I'm going to read some more of this now. Hopefully I can read some in between classes as well. This is prime reading time right now, though. I have 30 minutes to read before class. So, final thoughts on Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I love this novel. Loved it. No doubt this was written for me and my kind of people. This would be a perfect cozy morning Saturday book to just devour with a cup of coffee curled up on the couch. I loved how, as I've already mentioned, this book dives into deeper, important topics, but while also still being quite funny at times, partly due to the characters' quirky personalities. Every character has such a fun personality, even the dog 630, an iconic name, honestly, for an iconic dog. I also really enjoyed the cooking show segments throughout the book. It felt like us readers were right there in the live studio audience watching Elizabeth slay. Slay in the kitchen. Slay in the kitchen with chemistry. Although I don't feel like this brought any nuance to the topics it dived into, it does what it set out to do, and I know that whenever I think of this book, I'm gonna be like, dang, that was such a great book. So I'm giving this 5 stars. If you have similar reading taste to me, this, my friends, is a must read. I can definitely see why this was Barnes & Noble's 2022 Book of the Year, because I feel like a lot of people would like this. If you like more literary novels, you're probably gonna like this. If you like more funny, quirky novels, you're also probably gonna like this. I know my mom wants to read this book after me, which, not gonna lie, I momentarily forgot about until I read this book for this video, but you can read it now, Mom. You're welcome. Moving on to 2012's Book of the Year, I first had to hit at Barnes. All right, we're on a hunt today. I have to put up figurative blinders. We are only looking for one book. I literally just made a Barnes & Noble book shopping video. There she is. I know it's surprising. Me, a thriller girly, has not read what some consider a classic in the genre now. Now, it seems like in 2012, Barnes & Noble didn't have like a singular Book of the Year, but rather a select few Book of the Years. But this was the first one in the list, so we're just gonna go with it for 2012's Book of the Year. I may have just started this in Barnes & Noble Starbucks because maintenance is doing work in my apartment, which I don't need to be there for, and therefore I do not want to be there for. Social anxiety, am I right? So, what's happening in this book so far? To give you guys a quick spoiler-free synopsis, we're basically following this couple on their 5th wedding anniversary, and the day starts off as usual, you know, wife's cooking breakfast, husband goes off to work, but then once the husband gets home, he finds the cat sitting on their doorstep, the door wide open, and the wife, can you guess, is gone. Shocker. So far, it seems like we're just following the husband's POV, and then we also get little diary entries from the wife. And I'm more so liking the diary entries more so than the husband's POV, but I'm only like 25 pages in so far, which took me like an hour to read. It took me an hour to read 25 pages. This is gonna take me a while to get through, I think. Hi vlog. An exciting package has just arrived, which I thought I'd share with y'all while we chit chat about Gone Girl. This little haul is for my makeup aficionados out there. Like you guys know, the Sephora VIB sale happened recently, so I picked up a few things with some gift cards I'd been saving until then. I'll try not to spend too long on the makeup because I know most of y'all are here for just the book content, but sorry if I get carried away. Prepare yourself. I'm about to do some hardcore multitasking here. I've just hit the 150 page mark and I have some thoughts. Gone Girl is my second book by Gillian Flynn, and I'm definitely noticing some similarities to my reading experience of Sharp Objects. The main one being the drawn out writing style, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I can love both slower paced thrillers or fast paced popcorn thrillers as long as I'm enjoying the reading experience, and for this, I think I am. Honestly, it's still kind of up in the air. I wanted to get a new sheer coverage foundation slash skin tint, so I picked two up to try. This one, a Sephora employee actually convinced me to buy after going on a little rave parade about it. This is the Rose Ink Skin Enhance Luminous Tinted Serum. They were like, yeah, as a Sephora employee, Sephora gives us a lot of makeup, but this is a product I continually repurchase with my own money. And I was like, well, okay, queen, if you say so. This is actually a little set, so it comes with a brush. And I thought the concept was pretty cool and unique because it's basically a serum with like tinted pigment pearls suspended throughout it. And then I also picked up the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 40 Sunscreen, which I thought would be good for the upcoming summer months, so I can steer clear of looking like a tomato. Yum. Yeah, so I'm about a third through. Not really sure if I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it, but not absolutely loving it, which is a bit unfortunate, especially since I just read a book that gripped me from chapter 1. Lessons in Chemistry left big shoes for Gone Girl to fill. I also picked up this tinted lip balm by Summer Fridays. I love a good hydrating glossy lip moment. I'm gonna swatch it. There she is. This is in the color Vanilla Beige. I hate the smell. It smells like makeup. Yeah, it is makeup, but I don't want my lip products to smell like makeup. I want them to smell like yummy, juicy fruitiness. It's kind of funny. I noticed two things in here that also appear in two of Alice Feeney's books. For example, the wife in here inspired a children's book series, and I believe in Daisy Darker, one of the characters also inspired a children's book series. So it just makes me wonder if Alice Feeney maybe drew inspiration from this novel, since people always say that this book was like a turning point for domestic thrillers. This product I actually needed a new one of. This is the Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax by Too Faced. I liked how, hold up, how does this work? Oh yeah, there we go. I liked how on one end we have obviously the brow wax, and then on the other we have this brow comb contraption. Thought that was kind of neat. The husband, who we are mainly following, is pretty unlikable and is suspicious to not only us but also the characters. And our man is really not helping himself out because the things he's doing, I'm not gonna get into, but he is justifying it all by saying like, oh, it's just such a hard and weird time right now. I don't know why I'm acting this way. But like, dude, come on. Really, your wife is missing. Is it really that hard to show some empathy? I picked up a relatively new product by Milk. This is the Sculpt Stick. Back when Milk sold those monstrous sized bronzer sticks, I bought one and didn't really like it. But I keep seeing all the beauty gurus use this, and it looks like it just glides on the skin smoother than butter. I have to swatch this. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like this a lot more already. It's a lot more creamy. I think the bronzer stick was honestly just old, and that's why it was so bad. I have 3 theories so far with where this book is headed. This isn't really a spoiler. This is kind of all what I always suspect when I read thrillers. One, since this book is pretty obviously toying around with the notion of how it's always the husband when something nefarious happens to the wife, I'm feeling like this book might just go head on into that notion and continue to make us readers think it's the husband, which will then make us think that the author just wants us to think it's the husband. So then we will think that it's not the husband, but then it will turn out that it really is the husband. That was even confusing for me, sorry. Second, the wife is just orchestrating this whole thing. Or third, the culprit is some other side character. But I also won't be surprised if the cause of everything isn't one of those things, because the way people rave about the twists in this book makes it seem like it's supposed to alter my brain chemistry. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to at this moment, is just getting to that final twist. Oh, I got... You see, most people probably wouldn't include this in their haul, but nah, we keep it real over here. I got the Topicals Ingrown Tonic with AHA and BHA. I know my ladies out there will get me, especially with summer coming up and all. I've heard good reviews about this. Look, this is only weird if you make this weird. Let's see, I got the Merit Concealer Stick. Unpopular opinion, but concealer sticks are where it's at. Not a lot of brands make concealer sticks, probably because no one likes them, but I like them. Can't that just be enough? I don't think you can twist this down, and I think I just twisted this up. Love that for me. And then lastly, I picked the Ilia birthday gift set for the birthday option this year because this one comes with a blush, and trying different blushes feeds the soul. Also a little mascara, but don't really care about that. Here's my little haul. You're welcome. I know all of you enjoyed that so much. As of right now, this is sitting at like a 3.5 stars, so like a slightly below average thriller. I can't imagine bumping up this rating unless I either start to get really invested into the story or something happens that completely blindsides me. I'm going to read some more of this today. I also have a project I need to work on either today or tomorrow for my visual design class. I might bring you guys along with me. It's kind of a funny project. For this project, I basically have to create a postcard where I Photoshop myself into a picture with my younger self and then add some song lyrics on top. So I chose, I'll pop up a picture, an image of me being a little savage with an impeccable, might I add, fashionable outfit. I know, I'm jealous just looking at it. I wanted to like match the fit today, but you know my taste in clothing has changed, so I don't have any bright pink or orange attire in my wardrobe. Still, I tried to match the color scheme with this burnt orange t-shirt. Yeah, I know it doesn't match, but like it's the best I could do. So I first need to take a picture of myself. I'm actually just gonna hit record. This is going to look ridiculous. I'm thinking glad I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'll go like. I think we got some good shots to work with. So, Gone Girl, a 2012 favorite. Let me tell you, it's not one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I know some worship this book on their hands and knees, but it didn't do much for me. When I finished and closed the book, I was like, is that it? Because I'm still waiting for that earth-shattering twist. Everything was just so obvious to me, and that might be partially due to me having read similar books. Although I wasn't reading thrillers back in 2012, I would have been 10 then, and I don't necessarily think that would be appropriate reading material. I can still see how this novel has influenced books to come and the thriller genre as a whole, because I kept drawing all these connections to books that have been released more recently that have similar plot points. Something that really bugged me in here is that this book tried to dive into the character psyche, which is like, okay, fine, but the characterization was just so inconsistent that the story was hard to believe. These characters who were supposed to be smart kept behaving in like the opposite way, which made them seem like not real people, but instead like made up people that did whatever the author wanted them to do. I'm going to give this 3.25 stars. It's not a bad book by any means. I still enjoyed reading it, but I've enjoyed other thrillers a lot more. Okay, let's compare the two award-winning novels. Although 10 years isn't a huge difference between when these books were book of the year, upon reflection, I can see how both individually reflect public opinion from the years surrounding the year they were written, with lessons in chemistry that can be seen even starting with the actual look of the book, with the rom-com-esque cartoon cover that gained popularity fairly recently, but also more notably, the discussions around sexual harassment and discrimination against women could have partially been inspired by the 2017 uprise of the Me Too movement when it gained even more publicity, as it should. And with Gone Girl, since it was written and is set in 2012, the author included aspects of the Great Recession in the storyline, along with how the decrease in magazines and newspapers affected consumption and interpretation of news, which 10 years ago people could heavily relate to. The big question though is, should we trust Barnes & Noble's Book of the Year award? I'm gonna say for the most part yes, as long as it's not some Paul McCartney the lyrics BS. The books chosen do seem like a wide range of people would enjoy them. Hey, I have not read McCartney's book, so maybe it's really good. Still, I'm not reading it. Alright, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like to see more of these types of videos, let me know. I had a lot of fun making it. It was like a reading vlog, except with a twist. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help me and my channel out a lot. You can also comment, interact, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.